Nicola was introduced to me by a colleague from the city, who is her customer as well. And that's how it started, really. When I left, obviously I knew I had 3 different pensions from 3 different banks, but as far as the knowledge, not an awful lot of understanding or the complexity of the pensions, final salary and the money purchase and so on. So Nicola kind of landed on my lap. I was just expressing to my colleague that my knowledge is almost non-existent and I need to do something about it. And that's when I started talking to Nicola. My understanding of the whole pension was actually different to what it actually meant. And I think, like most people, I just thought it will be calculated of 3 or 4 years, my last earnings. But when it came to actually putting this in life, it wasn't quite that. So lack of knowledge, I think that applies to everybody, and the complexity of it. And that coupled with a good explanation on a level that not too complicated, not too many phrases thrown in, but just plain, you know, here is the goose and here are the eggs, and so you can actually relate in the simple terms what the pension means and and then options that you can do. I found the whole concept easier to use in decision making, what actually will work for me. And as it turned out, the final salary wasn't the best option to keep it in my case. We just joined everything together, and then it actually started making sense. The fact that you can relate to Nicola is not, and I did meet with one of the advisors before, and after having the couple of meetings with him, I really didn't have a clue what I should do with my pension. But with Nicola, her approach is different, and I live quite far. I live in Oxford, so it's not on the doorstep. And in Oxford, there are plenty of financial advisors that I could just knock on the door. But it's still worth coming here, because not only that she makes it easier, the concept to understand, but she also builds a rapport with you, and that helps, because you are more confident, and also not having the in-depth knowledge of the pensions, because there are rules and regulations that are coming up all the time, and you know, the ordinary Joe Block doesn't really read those rules and regulations. It's like reading terms and conditions of something. Do we really do it? We don't. Not only that you've got a conversation with Nicola, it's very visual. And the leaflet Freeing the Goose gives you picture by picture steps that are beneficial for you to take. You either use what you have, or if you don't choose the right option, you don't get the full benefit. That's what it meant to me, because I could have kept what I had and keep my final salary separately, and yes, I would benefit, but once I'm gone, everything just goes poof and you don't benefit. Whatever you were working for, that somebody else will benefit after you've gone, if you are the first one to go, which you never know.